Hello, my friends. I'm your sweet little friend. And from today onwards, this channel is your go-to place to discuss about all kinds of movies, web series, TV shows, and many more. Now, I might not be good at rocket science or solving world hunger, but when it comes to judging shows like an overqualified girl with too much free time, I'm a certified expert. So grab your popcorn, because we're about to roast, toast, and maybe even ghost some of your favorite and not so favorite screen stuff. So, let me tell you all something. I am born and raised in India, so naturally, I grew up watching mostly local content on TV here. But now, thanks to the magic of technology and 5G, Wi-Fi, I've unlocked a whole new universe of global shows. And now, I'm really interested in exploring and watching all these different kinds of stories. Growing up, I didn't really get to watch many English or international shows, so I've decided that from now on this very channel, in every video, I'll be diving into the first episodes of some of the most hyped, most talked about, most, OMG you haven't seen this, shows out there. So yeah, enough of my TED Talk, right? Let's finally get this video rolling before my tea gets cold. The show I've picked for today is Good Luck Charlie. Yep, a Disney kid show. I'm not sure how famous it was over there, but here in India, they made an Indian version called Best of Luck Nikki, and let me tell you, it is one of my favorites. Honestly, back then, I didn't even know it was a remake, but now that I know, I'm super excited to discuss the original version with you all. Okay, so even though I didn't watch the original Good Luck Charlie while growing up, trust me, after watching just a couple of episodes, I was like, oh, this is literally Best of Luck Nikki with a fancy American accent. The characters are practically twins, so let's just say I'm already an expert on all 4 seasons, no big deal. Now, for those of you who've seen it, here's the family rundown. We've got the mom, Amy, who's trying to keep it all together, dad Bob, who's, let's say, dad-ish, the older son PJ, who's, well, dumb, and then there's Teddy, Gabe, and the star of the show, little Charlie, who's a cute bundle of chaos, starting off at 9 months old in the first episode. Mostly, in every episode, each member of the Duncan family gets themselves tangled up in their own messes, and somehow, the whole thing spirals into chaos, all in the most hilarious, why is this happening? Way possible. It's like watching a circus, but with more awkward family moments and fewer clowns. Okay, maybe not fewer clowns. In the first episode, Mom Amy finally decides to go back to work, and now everyone has to pitch in to take care of Charlie. Because of this, Teddy's study date turns into a disaster since she can't go out, so she calls Spencer over to her house for a study date, but let's be real, we all know it's not about studying. Naturally, they try to kiss, but Charlie and the rest of the family keep interrupting them like they're on some secret mission to ruin the mood. Meanwhile, PJ and Dad end up in the hospital because, in a comedy of errors, Charlie almost falls, but somehow Dad managed to save her, at the last second, of course, and he ends up with injuries. Just when Teddy is desperately trying to sneak in some romantic alone time with Spencer, here comes Gabe, our resident chaos machine, who, as always, heads over to annoy his favorite enemy/neighbor, Mrs. Dabney. Classic Gabe behavior. And that's when we discover Gabe's going through a full-blown, middle child crisis. Now that he's not the youngest anymore, thanks to little Charlie's grand entrance, he's feeling all ignored and replaced, like, hello. I used to be the cute one. Which, honestly, I personally totally relate to. I'm a single child, and even at this very mature age, I still can't tolerate the idea of my parents giving more attention to some newborn sibling or any random kid. Sorry, not sorry, I want my spotlight, okay. Anyway, moving forward, obviously, Mom finds out everything. How Dad nearly dropped Charlie and ended up in the hospital. And Teddy's study date. Yeah, that didn't exactly go according to the rom-com script either. But at the end, she gets a sweet message that hints at their budding love story. Oh, and yeah, there's one more character in the first episode, Emmett. I hadn't mentioned him till now because, honestly, even the universe forgets he exists, especially his crush, Teddy. Poor guy's been stuck in invisibility mode since episode 1. The whole time, Emmett spends his time either doing some next-level weird stuff with PJ, random dance moves, or throwing cringy pickup lines at Teddy, who, by the way, wouldn't date him even if he was the last Wi-Fi signal on Earth. Why? Because, like 99% of rom-com heroines, she's into the cute, smooth-talking, jawline-blessed type, aka Spencer. Spoiler alert, Spencer cheats. Yep, charming packaging, expired contents. Like girl, are you okay? Blink twice if you need help. I mean, once a cheater, always a block and report, am I right? Anyway, let's talk about someone who actually deserves love, Ivy. Teddy's bestie and low-key the MVP of the whole show. Honestly, East or West, Ivy-Teddy friendship is the real love story here. They're like fries and ketchup, tea and biscuit. From start to finish, they're stick together like glue. By the way, is it just me or do you also feel like Teddy, Spencer, Emmett, Ivy, all of them look way too grown up for their age in the show? Like, I checked, in the first season, they're supposed to be what, 15 or 16? Really? I mean, when I was 15, I looked like a confused potato with a backpack. And honestly, as a girl, I've never understood why in every single show, whether it's teen, fantasy, or sitcom like this one too, every young girl, around 13 to 16 years old, has this one major crisis, boy problems. I mean, really, why is this such a recurring plotline? Every female lead is either chasing a boyfriend, dealing with a dramatic breakup, or discovering that her best friend's boyfriend is cheating on her. As far as I can remember, at that age, my problems never were about finding a boy. They were real problems, like, should I take this stream or that? My marks were so bad, I was getting scolded at home like there was no tomorrow. I was worrying about what college to go to, and half my day would be gone just trying to figure out how to pass my exams. And don't get me started on phone time. If I managed to scroll for more than an hour, I thought I was living the dream. Meanwhile, these show teens are spending hours with their boyfriends or love life, like they don't have homework, exams, or a single life goal to stress over. Like, where are they getting all this free time? Teddy is just like one of them. Sure, she's shown to be really good at studies and a good girl, but at the same time, she often comes off as a little too desperate for a boyfriend. And honestly, I don't like that because when a girl appears desperate for a guy, it kind of feels like she's lowering her own value. Then comes PJ, the classic, dumb oldest brother, always flirting with girls and pulling off the weirdest stunts like any other guy. Honestly, I found him kind of relatable, because when it came to career stuff, he was as lost as a GPS with no signal. He dropped out and then, surprise surprise, discovered cooking. That, confused, part hit home because, let's face it, a lot of college students are like, what should I do with my life? And the answer is usually, I dunno, maybe take a nap and figure it out later. But it was nice to see PJ go through all that confusion and finally find his passion. Gabe also had a pretty epic character arc throughout the seasons. He started off as the little troublemaker, always up to something, but by the end, he actually matured, a little. Now, there's a lot to discuss about him, but I can't put it all in here, otherwise the video will get way too long. Similarly, both parents are shown like typical parents, but in a super funny and weird way. Like, the dad is basically a food critic on a mission to taste everything, while the mom is out here trying to become famous at any cost and so on. Lastly, there's Charlie. Now, the show is named after her, and somehow, everything revolves around her, with Teddy making her video diaries for every episode. But ironically, she gets the least screen time in the whole family. Apart from all this, there are many other characters and things that can be talked about, like the love-hate relationship between Gabe and Mrs. Dabney, which eventually got resolved. Then there was the time when Mrs. Dabney's twin sister came to visit, and apparently Gabe liked her. Later on, her granddaughter even became Gabe's girlfriend. Also, how Teddy and Spencer ended up getting back together as a couple in the end, and how she was such a bad dancer. Teddy used to feel quite embarrassed about her weird family, and eventually, she moved away for college. Then there's PJ, who had several girlfriends. Once, he even followed a girlfriend all the way to her place, in some other city, leaving his home. His weird friendship with Emmett was also worth watching. And by the end of the series, he had become quite a good chef. Charlie, by the end of the series, became a middle child because of Toby's arrival. So, how she handled this change was also shown. Then there's also how the parents managed to handle so many kids. The show highlights both the pros and cons of that. Along with that, their own arguments and personalities are also shown. For example, how Dad, Bob, was always excited about his work in his pest control company, Bob's Bugs Be Gone. Meanwhile, Mom, Amy, had a habit of bossing everyone around. She even went as far as taking a fake family to a dance competition, in one episode. There are so many other things that it's impossible to cover everything here all at once. But I've tried my best to share as much as I could about this show with all of you. Now my final thoughts. Honestly, I didn't get to watch this show while growing up, but I'm still happy that I got to see its Indian version, which was one of my favorite and most unique shows during my childhood, especially since, back then, our TV didn't really have shows with such concepts. So thanks to the makers for creating it and giving all of us a chance to experience it. I'm sure all the actors did a great job. Overall, I would rate this show 8/10. I was going to give it a 9, but I deducted 1 point only because, in the end, they showed Spencer and Teddy getting back together even after he cheated. Now I know that in real life, this happens too. Many partners forgive their cheating partners and give them another chance. But since this is fiction, the creators should have used this platform to show from a young age that no matter how much you love someone, or how good looking your partner is, it's not always necessary to give a cheating lover a second chance. And there's no guarantee they won't cheat again. So yeah, that's all for today's discussion on Good Luck Charlie. If you have anything to say or think I missed something in this video, the comment section is open. Feel free to write it there. And if you want me to make a video on any of your favorite shows, don't forget to drop your suggestions in the comments. Bye, lovelies. See you in the next video.